Mental Misplay is proud to be Quiver Time ambassadors. Use the affiliate link down below and the code BIGDRAWS at checkout to help out the channel and get a sweet discount on one of the best MTG accessories on the market. This video wouldn't be possible without moxfield.com. They are the best deck building website on the entire internet. Go make an account. It's free. Give us a follow, and we'll see you out there. I can't wait to see your list.
Hey, we got House of Cards. Yo, that's my man. That's my man, Tybalt. Tybalt chilling in the chat. We love seeing you in here. C Massive, Obosh. I seen Ron said, hey. Oh, Josh is in here. Sorry, not Josh. Islane's in here. We got everybody. TPS. I was thinking of not Josh. The fuck is his name? The dude who looks like Bruce Tarl. The big Texas Josh.
I literally just sent him a card today. We did a trade.
That guy's a sweetheart.
Yeah, he is. I traded for a big bitey snake guy that draws cards.
Oh, the Frostfang, Oran Frostfang?
Yeah, I didn't have one of those.
Is it dollars now? Is it like it's like $12?
It's like $26.
Right? $26 is too many dollars. It was like 12. Yeah. It was like $4 and then it was like $12. So
yeah, that's why I was like not wanting to buy one. He was like, you know, I've got an extra one I'd trade to you. Sweet.
Nice. Hell yeah. I like I didn't cop the foil when it was like also $10. I should have, but I've got the Curtis altar, so I'm happy with where I'm at. I've got the very rare MTG OGVA altar.
I know, they're too rare. They're so good.
I should get them fucking.
I got that fucking Corvold one that makes me want to play Corvold, but it's the only thing that makes me want to play Corvold.
Hey, listen, you said you were doing the order. I was like, get me Corvold, so I'll try to play it. I felt like that was like a deck that I could fuck with, right? Like, so for you all in the chat to get clued into this, like we're having like a private conversation, clearly. I need to play different cEDH decks. Now that we're shitting out a video every week, it can't just like alternate between Yisan and Dalsum. Like it can't. It's not gonna cut it, I think, in this day and age. And like I'd love to be on whatever the spicy shit is, but I'm not brewing like cEDH decks every week. I'm not like the fucking cutting edge brew guy for that shit. So I need to just get like a couple more decks to rotate between, and so Cyrus was kind enough to put in a playtest order. We're gonna have some playtest cEDH decks, so I'll be running. Nice, thank you, Islane. I'm going to be running just standard blue farm. I think is good. It's good to just like play that and know it and be like, I like that deck because you draw 7 and it doesn't matter if it's like good for the situation or not, but you're like, yay! These are 7 good fucking cards. Like every time you're like, oh, 7 7 of the best cards, which is really funny. So what did I tell you? It was
that one and
Corvold Treasure Storm. I want to do Corvold Treasure Storm for sure, and I don't remember what the third one was. It was something funny. Yeah, it was maybe something you recommended.
I recommended Dawnwaker Thrasios, Bruce
Thrasios. Yep.
Because it's got just a lot of fun cards. It ramps like crazy, and then you're like, whoops, I won, because so many of your things just overlap and make infinite mana, and then you Thrasios and win.
Yep.
So like almost there's no stacks in it, but it feels like playing a stack almost. Like you just do nothing for like 3 turns and then you win.
Yep. So I'd fuck with that just because so many people play it, and I'm always tilted about fucking Thrasios. And people are like, I play Training Center or whatever, and I fucking cost less money to use now. Like that shit makes me so mad. Yeah,
there's a lot of other stuff.
So Islane, everybody's been on Tivit. That's the thing, is like I've of the past like 4 streams I've done, there's been somebody on fucking Tivit every single goddamn time. And then I went on Dan's stream and Dan was on Tivit every fucking game. So I'm not trying to rock Tivit just yet. Fucking cats. Jesus Christ.
Cats is pretty sweet. Timna Thrasios Reanimator is fun.
I could fuck with shit. That. That's fuck withable for sure. C Massive, Tivit is the fucking like the hot cEDH deck right now. Well Tall Jetmir is too much like Dalsum. It's just honestly, it's better Dalsum, and I'm mad at that. So we're not going to talk about Jetmir. We don't talk about Jetmir because it's better Dulcim. You run Dulcim in the 99 in Jetmir.
Yeah.
I'm mad at that deck because it is better Dulcim. It's
Also with Dockside.
it's got Dulcim with Dockside, and it's got your win con in the command zone. Your win con being a Crater Hoof plus like it's got your win con in the. I hate it. I'm so mad, and also in no small part because fucking Ian like beat my ass with it on my birthday.
Oh,
Or
nice.
at the birthday party in any case. Jetmir doesn't play Dockside. Fair. Okay. Does it
I don't
not
think
red?
that is fair, honestly.
Is red not one of the colors in there?
I think it is.
I thought it
It
was
is.
too. I guess I have no
Because
clue what I'm
I have a mostly goblins Jetmir deck on what's it called? The thing, Arena for Historic Brawl.
Oh no, because Jetmir is so heavy on like oofing. Yeah, it does like the oofs and the orbs and all that shit. So it's like, no, we don't want none of that. It's oofing and orbing. It's pondering. You know me, oofing and orbing. Minsk and Boo is I could honestly play Minsk and Boo. I think that would be a fun one for sure. I'm drawing
Like a Hulk deck, right?
yeah, drawing. It's a Hulk deck. It's also just like a breach deck, maybe. I don't know. It's a draw 7 cards on turn 3 deck for sure.
Nice.
Because fucking that thing just draws cards.
I did see that in the video I was editing. I was like, wait, this draws cards?
Yeah, it's great. It draws cards. And it deals damage by punching people with a big hamster. It makes the hamster every turn, and it sacks the hamster, and you draw that many cards and deal that much damage to a creature, I think, or maybe to a
Yeah, to
player's
something.
face, to whatever the fuck you want. Like, it doesn't matter. It's an insane. It's such an absurd card that, like, no wonder it's a fucking cEDH deck, and it's just
Yeah.
Planeswalker command. Just everything about it. It's so fucking stupid. Oh man. So we're yeah, big House of Cards. We're big Baldur's Gates fans in this house too. I'm a big fan. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make Miram cEDH. I think is the way to
There you
go.
go.
That's the only option.
Mhm.
We're just gonna do Dragonstorm, the fucking cEDH deck. I think that's a good plan. Could you imagine?
Is to do like every one of those deck ideas where it's like, well, maybe isn't quite cEDH, so it'll just be a stacks deck so that I can kill everyone with combat.
Listen, I think I love it's Miram. I guess Miram could be in. You can. It's got blue in it, so you can tutor for instance. So you can tutor for Dragonstorm. So
Yeah, is
it's got
Dragonstorm
red.
costs like 7,
I
makes a
think
bunch of
it's like
dragons
8
or
or
whatever?
9 mana, and
Yeah.
you storm out that many dragons, right?
Mhm.
So if you've got Miram out there, then so that's the thing is it only really works in that goofy legacy deck because you bring out Miram with Dragonstorm, right? So it's a little goofy to.
Yeah, I guess that's
It'd be a little goofy to have it in the command zone because it's like first I gotta play my 6 mana commander and then I gotta play this 8 mana fucking storm spell. But
I win. Yeah. I
man.
ruffled some feathers with my stacks. Stacks can turn any combat deck into a cEDH deck.
Yep, it's true.
Yeah.
Listen, that's what Dalsum is for sure. So yeah, I've got a lot of options, but you're gonna maybe see me playing like other decks soon. That's the goal. By soon, I mean in the shipping time of. I might
6 to 8 weeks.
yeah, 6 to 8 weeks. I might try to put Blue Farm together just out of pieces of paper and shit so that I can play it in tomorrow's pod, which is going to be awful also. Like running that into Braden and fucking Seth is going to be a goddamn nightmare. And yeah, like the idea, so somebody said like, "Oh, build Winota," and it's like I've played Blue Farm before. I've done it before and it's like yay blue, it's yay, but I have to like actually learn the ways. I have to like do my time and learn the ways. Would you have any suggestions, Cyrus? You did your Bruce Thrass is a good suggestion. I
like the Dawnwaker Thrasios. I kind of suggest that just everyone has Najila on hand because it's such a fun deck to play, and it's like not super like brain intensive. It's a good like last game of the night kind of deck because you're just like mull until you can play Najila turn 1 or 2, see if you win. If you don't, whatever. Start building warriors up or whatever.
I should start fucking around with that. I was so taken with Kiki Jiki.
He's great, yeah, and yeah, Winota or not Winota. Najila, I think there's some lists that maybe run Kiki Jiki.
Oh no,
lines.
I just meant the
The
Stevens
Kiki
deck,
Jiki
the
deck,
Kiki Jiki
yeah,
deck.
that
Yeah,
deck.
I was so taken with that. It's so funny. So like,
It's so funny. Morphing shit. Come on, or not morphing, but whatever it's called. Mutate.
mutate. That's a real mechanic. Mutate.
It's definitely a
Zangief.
CEDH mechanic.
Wow, fucking Islane saying Zangief, huh?
Zangief is
Okay.
Mardu. Is that?
Is it Mardu? I thought it was. I have no idea.
I don't know. I've been so off of like CEDH
Jund?
brews. Oh, Jund. Okay. I've been going big, boring, top tournament winning deck lists. Choose one, play that for like a couple months at this point.
Yep. But you get good at it. You can play it now. That's the thing, is like you can actually run that shit. So
Yeah, and it's fun to feel like you actually know what you're doing with like a really good deck. It's a good time.
so yeah, that's the goal, is to like have some new fucking wow. And Islane's calling it Zang, and I just seen C Massive call it Geef. So I think either one, Zang or Geef, both funny. Geef really got me though. And so we're thinking about, I don't this is like so unstructured right now. It's always going to be unstructured. There, as always, the titular, or the penultimate, like the always, like, we're thinking about new Patreon tiers. So there's maybe more Patreon tiers coming. I like that. I want to do some sort of like deck building, or like some sort of not to give away our secrets here, folks. Some sort of like tier or payment where you like give dollars and a commander and like a couple of stipulations, and then they get built as one of the live streams and then get played like on one of the nights that I play games. So on this stream. So keep your eye out for that. I'm like trying to figure out how to do it, rather than just being like, I'll jump in a chat with you and help build a deck for an hour. Like, I'd like to incorporate like the forward facing aspect of it. But that's a whole thing that like me and Cyrus have to like figure out. I don't know if this is a forward facing talk or not.
You just gotta hammer out the details with something like that. Something where people can pay you some amount of money to build decks and
I think
play with said decks. I know most of the like other people that do it, it's more about like they send a list and you can maybe tweak a few cards, but mostly they just want to see the people on the internet play the deck. I don't know if that translates over into the commander realm, because this is all stuff I watch, like Epic Storm does it, and Bosch and Roll does it. I'm sure pretty much all those guys do it.
And it's easy to like queue up a list also. Like, it's easy to queue up. Also, by the way, Girl Redacted with the resub for Prime, and TCG guy with the sub as well. Incredibly kind. Thank you guys. We've got a sub goal of 100 goals right now. We're about 15 away. And you'll notice the lack of sponsor talk. We are currently untethered from Moxfield as of the moment, while they restructure. So we are relying on you guys, on the truly those of you who are the true supporters. So all of your subs. I fixed the donate button. The donate button goes direct to our PayPal now, which is pretty fucking cool. So yeah, anything y'all can give, it's gonna help us do cool things. But aside from that, yeah, we're looking at like a Patreon tier where maybe there's some sort of deck building involved, where you're like, Alan, build this dumb commander, and I'll be like, yes, and we'll do like the community deck building stream, and then like play it on my own stream against 3 unsuspecting individuals. And I'm also like, I keep playing with this idea of streaming Arena, and I think it's gotta happen. I think I just gotta pick 2 days a week during the day to just be like, I'm gonna play Arena today, and pretend I know what I'm doing on there. So keep your eyes peeled. Back to Commander stuff though, instead of fucking deep dives into how we run our dumb channel.
That's
Have
what they're here for.
have you guys in the chat? Have you been watching the games we put out? Have you? What do you think of the games we put out? We've been real psyched about that. About how it's for us, it's great because I'm playing those games like every week. So you guys come in the chat and you watch them, and then we just pop them out onto YouTube, and they've been pretty well received. Like I've been pretty happy about this kind of new breed. We dialed back on like the memes, but we've leaned a little harder into like popping into the
Oh yeah,
like
the board
individual
zoom
board
in, yeah.
zooms. Yeah, I love that I went like this and you knew exactly where I was fucking going with it, Cyrus. That's why me and you we're gonna take over the world. So that's good. The vibes and banter are what make it fresh. Good. That's what I want. That's what I want to hear. We've been really trying to lean into those and make them real pretty recently, and they're a lot of fun to do. And they're
Yeah, we've been sticking to a schedule, which is
yes.
wild. I've been actually able to get a video out every Friday, except maybe there was one that
There
we
was
had a
one we
hiccup
missed
we were
because
like,
I didn't get a cEDH game in there, so I just did the deck tech instead, and even that got some views. You know, the fucking raw deck
yeah,
tech. That was awesome.
yeah. I like the deck tag too. Yeah, if you saw the deck tag, if you thought that was like a fun thing to watch, let me know, because I don't know. I don't know that it's anything other than the fact that I've just done a lot of gameplay videos, but doing other stuff feels very refreshing every once in a while to just do a totally different kind of video. So I like Scoop's idea. More dead silence.
Yeah, that's
for
I was
sure.
just gonna say. More white noise, more dead air. We just got a sub from Obosh Likes Juice with the Prime sub. Thank you so much. 4 months is no slouch. It's amazing that I've been doing this 4 months, but actually what I'm starting to realize is like the weeks go by like fucking minutes now. Like I'll be like, oh, it's not for like I was so excited to go do Philly, and it just came and went like soup. Like I was like, oh, it's 6 months away, and then it was boom, it just happened. So
Yeah, I'm feeling that way about Command Fest Seattle coming up. Like when it was announced, I was like, okay, I don't need to be actively planning or thinking about that right this minute. It's however long away. And then yesterday or something, I was like, that's like a month and a half that's going to go by so fast if I don't start getting it together right now.
6 weeks is tomorrow. Six weeks might as well be fucking this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm tight. I'm not going to be able to go to any of them shits. I'm going to be doing a 4-year-old birthday party, and I'm leaning into that as hard as I can. I'm big on using the phrase "leaning into" right now, and so
leaning into it.
Yeah, leaning into that one real hard. But I'm going to be doing a 4-year-old birthday party. I am looking at Minneapolis, and it's going to be fucked because I'm going to be in Vegas the weekend before that. So Layrite is I think I mentioned this. Layrite.
Oh yeah.
Layrite's gonna have me work in the Layrite booth in Vegas at the Rockabilly convention.
It's so good.
They are major sponsors of the Viva Las Vegas Rockabilly convention, and they asked me to come work it. So I'm gonna go work at the Rockabilly convention in Vegas. Dude hit me up and he was like, "Hey, you ever been to Viva?" And I was like, "Yes, in 2004." And he was like, "Oh shit!" So I'm going back to Viva for the first time in 20 years, and I'm gonna be working at the Layrite booth. They sponsor they have like a bus that they turned into a like hair salon. So
nice.
I think Liz was like, "You're gonna have to go down to see Manny in New York to get your hair cut before you go." And I was like, "No, I'm gonna get my hair cut on the fucking bus." Are you kidding me? On the Layrite bus?
Yeah,
she was like, "Oh
sure.
yeah, that makes sense." So that's gonna be a whole thing. That's gonna be like real weird.
Yeah, that's awesome though. I love the branch out there. It's funny how that came together. I've been rocking the Layrite hoodie all over the place. Just comfy as hell.
Oh, which one did you get? Oh, do you have it on you? Can you show it off? I want to see it. I'm excited about it. You're like,
I think it's like it's not around my spot. It's probably upstairs.
Not within reach. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's just the big like 4 barbers by barbers one, which is really funny.
Yep.
It's no one has pointed out to me that I have a hoodie about barbers while not having hair yet, so I'm waiting.
That's sick that they you said they sent you a big box of swag, huh?
Yeah, all the beard shit's great too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've been all about it. It smells real good.
Yep.
Feels real nice. Hooked it up.
Good. I'm glad. They've been really good to me, and I was like, so you do it like just hooking it up because I use the product and I'll wear it, forward facing, and I was like, you do any like paid stuff? And they were like, listen, if when we do, you're at the top of the list. I was like, hell
Nice.
yeah. Oh Bosh. You gotta find it. You gotta find the Layrite beard oil. Apparently it works. Apparently it's
Yeah,
good. It
that's good stuff.
makes your beard nice and oily.
Yep.
I don't know how beard oil
It gets
works.
rid of the mask indent, which is the
Oh,
thing that drives me the
nice.
most crazy right now.
I seen the dudes with the bearded dudes with the mask, and it has it's got like a little thing on it that comes out.
Amazing. I need
So
this.
it's like it kind of looked like the masks from, I don't remember what that show is, that weird like show that they did in New York with the white masks, and it's like some house of something or other. I don't know, House of Yes? No, that's not right. I don't know. It's some fucking weird show in New York with these weird ass masks. But yeah, there's like I seen dudes with beards rocking the mask that has like it's some sort of like thing on it so that it doesn't
That's
like
so good because
fucking give
it
the
drives
dumb
me
like
nuts. Yeah, I think I'm gonna shave pretty much the whole beard off before Command Fest Seattle, just because I don't feel like dealing with it.
that's very valid. I was
It usually
crying.
happens about twice a year because I can't really.
Yeah.
It's at about as long as it gets. I don't know. It doesn't ever seem to go past this. So
I seen that picture that fucking Donnie and Jen posted of them like from 30 years ago.
so
And
good.
Donnie had the fucking just the level 1 beard, and I made a joke about it just cuz like his beard is like fucking big as shit now. Like
Yeah.
he's got a fucking a whole thing on his face. But he just had the little goatee and all that. I was like, oh, it's like that shit's still got its fucking level 1 gear and everything. That hasn't even finished the tutorial, that beard. I was fucking laughing when I saw that shit. So I love the shit out of them. But that was a crazy picture to see of the two of them for sure. From fucking CEO Bosch knows. Yeah, Donnie's got a
Yeah.
whole fucking like his beard is you can see it. It's there. It's a beard. It's fucking.
It's
It's
you
a,
got the wizard beard
a
for sure.
big fucking beard. Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
I'm super stoked to. I'm gonna make a point to get in some actual games with Jen and Donnie this time
Yes.
because I played like a game with Donnie where he was just mana screwed the whole time. It was the only game we got in at
Bummer.
that Bellevue. So at Obosh, we're gonna get some games in. It's gonna be real good. I'm real excited for this one.
Yeah, Mab. Donnie's beard has definitely got its own fucking zip code and shit.
Needs yeah.
So who else? Anybody else in the chat going to be in Seattle? Cyrus is going to be there holding it down at the Laughing Dragon Command Fest for us. I'm not going to be able to make it out, but I was looking. If I made it to any one of them, it would probably be Richmond. Because Cyrus is going to be in Bellevue for the fucking Seattle one to hang out with Cyrus. But yeah, see Massive, if you can get there, fucking get there, because you're gonna be able to fucking bang it out with Cyrus. It's gonna be wild times.
Yeah.
So I had a birthday party. I did like a birthday thing. That was cool. It was such
It
a
looked real
treat
cool.
to be able to do that. To be able to like see. So the Friday, my actual birthday, we went like to food. We did like food in the morning and then had like a cake in the evening, and I went to the trampoline park with my kid and all that. So that was really special. Um, but yeah, the bang went out with Cyrus. Yeah, you get it. You get it, C Massive. You understand. So I went to the trampoline park with my kids. That was a real treat. But then Saturday I had Amar and CJ and Ron and Knowledge came up from New York City, from Jersey and New York, and yeah, I definitely the cake had so many candles, it was basically a bonfire. It was crazy. um, People came up from New York and came from all over, like Massachusetts and Rhode Island and Connecticut and all that. Dudes from the like all different good people showed up, but we went to this spot, this TJ's Cafe spot, and it was like that's a big fucking store. It was like a really big store, like super high. It's in like it's like basically like kind of in a strip mall, but it's like the size of a warehouse. It was cool. This was a
That
good
is funny.
fucking
It looked
shop.
huge from the
Yes,
picture that you posted. I was
it
like,
is a
God damn, you took over
massive
a
store.
whole ass store.
It is a massive, massive, massive store. One of the biggest I've ever been in. And we showed up, and I was like, "Hey, some friends of mine are showing up," and there were like 6 pods of just like people who I invited there. So that was like really, really fucking cool to do a party and to play games. And I must have played like 8 games of Commander, which is like
Oh yeah.
it's no
I'm
slouch, you know.
trying to go for some sort of like 10 games a day challenge for Command Fest and
Oh
just
hell yeah!
try to really double down on playing tons and tons of games. We'll see. We'll see. But eight's great. Eight's a fucking
You
a
gotta
ton
do
of
you
games.
gotta do Boss Monster. If they're running Boss Monster, you have to do it.
Yeah,
Since
I haven't seen what like little events or whatever they're going to be running at all. I'm thinking of just calling up Laughing Dragon tomorrow and being like, I sent you an email, and also should I stop in and say hey? Or because I have there's like one random day between now and then that I could make it over to Issaquah, where their main store is located, and just kind of go schmooze. So we might do that.
Oh yeah, call them up and definitely call them up and be like, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna stop by. I want to talk to whoever the fuck is in charge of this thing, because I'm
Yeah.
gonna show up and I'm gonna be the coolest person there by a wide margin.
Mhm.
So we're gonna need to figure out how to really showcase that." They'll be like, "Oh yeah,
Exactly.
oh, when you put it that way."
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's definitely it's worth contacting them and being like, figure it out, because it's oh shit, no way. Oh.
Yeah, Olivia will be
Oh,
there.
that's cool. The Seattle one?
Dana
That's
Fisher
wild.
is gonna be there. That's
Careful.
like
Careful. Dana fucking steamroll.
I
Dana's a
wanna
pub stomper, all
play
right?
a game. Like I don't know what formats she's really like big into. I'm gonna bring my Pioneer deck, and that's probably the most likely. But I want to play a game with Dana and just get absolutely destroyed because
She
I know she will just destroy me mercilessly.
It feels like every week she's posting top 8 results. It makes me fucking
Yeah,
cry laughing. And I
yeah, it's
love
so
the
good.
pictures. They do the fucking lineup. They do like the usual suspects lineup of the top 8, and it's like usually like one smiling dude and then like 6 dudes who are like, "Huh." And
Mhm.
then she's like, like she's like, she'll be in the fucking side just like, hey, I fucking got him. I fucking love that she's just crushing it. And always, I'll never forget interviewing her in Vegas and being like,
Mhm.
"Oh, what events did you do? What was your favorite thing you've done so far?" And she was like, "The Unfinity, sealed." And I was like, "Oh, it's because you fucking 3-0'd it, right?" She was like, "Yup." Without skipping a beat, she was like, "Yup, 3-0, no problem." I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
of course that's why you liked it so much." She's
I
she's
love it.
she's a beast. She's never not like absolutely posed a huge threat in any game I've played with her for sure. So I think for sure. Oh shit, Phyrexian Fangirl rating with a party of 16. Thank you so
Ooh.
much. Bless up. We really appreciate that. We're out here shooting the shit. Bigging up Dana Fisher right now. I think Priscilla, good to see you. Thanks again for an amazing game the other day. We were just talking about it. Talking about Minsc and Boo and how it's a terrifying deck. It's very, very strong. Um, I think 60 cards the way to go though. If you're gonna sit down and
Yeah,
get a game with Dana, you gotta fucking rock a 60 card deck. I think that's gonna be the way to go for sure.
totally. I bet she's got to be playing Pioneer. It's like the new hotness right now. So
I
I got one of those card hoarder loan accounts.
oh
Hashtag not sponsored, but they should sponsor us. So I pay like a small amount every week and can rent up to like 200 something dollars worth of cards to build decks with. And
on
so
like
I've been
MTGO or
yeah on MTGO. And so I've been playing a little bit of Pioneer on there, and it's been pretty good. I realized I've heard people talk about how the tournament practice section on MTGO isn't actually very good for practicing, and in
okay.
Popper For Pauper, it seems like it is. People play out games and like you get the whole round and stuff. In Pioneer, though, there's been so many games where it's like turn 3, I play just like a Lotus Field. I'm actually like out of gas, like don't know what I'm gonna do, and people just quit. And like if you win game 1, they just quit the rest of the round. You don't get to play like your post sideboard games. So I think diving into the more widely played formats, I can see where people are coming from with the tournament practice not actually being worthwhile. But I'm getting enough a handle on the deck that I think I could play it in a league. So I'll probably be streaming that at some point in the near-ish future.
This is a Pioneer deck?
Yeah.
What's the deck? What is it?
It's a Lotus Field combo. Do you know Lotus Field? It's a land that comes into play tapped, has hexproof. You have to sacrifice 2 lands when you play it, but it taps to add 3 mana of any color.
Is this the one where you sacrifice 2 untapped lands?
No, just any 2. You can tap the lands first, which is really, really awesome. Because usually you're paying the 2, playing the Lotus Field, and then using that 2 mana to Sylvan Scrying up a Thespian stage. And then you're going to cheat in more Lotus Fields because they're Thespian stage. You play the Thespian stage, pay 2, copy the Lotus Field, and then you use Hidden Strings, which costs 2 mana and lets you untap 2 lands. So it's just like a ritual, basically. And so you chain a bunch of rituals together, play Ultimatum, the big Sultai Ultimatum, so you get more free spells to cast, and you eventually win through Approach of the Second Sun.
Oh, wow. That's really funny that Approach is the win con.
Yep, you grab it out of your sideboard with Mastermind's Acquisition, you cast it, and then you cast another tutor and play it again. Because you get Omniscience out. It's a whole little stage of things that it goes through, but it starts with basically you're just getting out the lands and ritualing up a bunch of mana, and then you kind of are inevitable.
It's just one after another. The combo just kind of flows.
Yeah, and it could pivot in a lot of ways too. And like if you already have certain pieces in hand, it can just kind of do all sorts of stuff, and it's really fun. And your post sideboard, you get to bring in Zakama and like a bunch of other big ass shit. If you think they're gonna sideboard and stuff against the combo, you just bring in big creatures, which is like one of my favorite tricks from way back in the day. I used to play a Heartbeat of Spring deck that the sideboard was just legendary dragons. So like combo in the main deck, they bring in all they sideboard out all their creature hate, you bring in all your creatures. That was like one of my first, it was the first deck I won an F&M with when I was like 14.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. I love that. Zakama's Mama was the alternate squad name. Very good, Scoop. Good. I'm so excited. I'll never forget. Like Pioneer was like so poo-pooed on at its early days. People were like, "Who wants to play this fake modern? Who wants to play this not standard?" And now it's like people love it.
Well, then Casual Jake saved the format for us all.
That's truly what it was. Is Casual Jake said, "I'm single-handedly going to revive this format," and he did.
I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah, it's really funny because I literally saw no one I don't know the word I'm looking for. No one was engaging with the format like at all. And then he did a couple streams, and all of a sudden I started seeing it everywhere. Everyone's like, "Oh, we're interested in Pioneer."
Yep.
I got into it because the Lotus Field deck you could buy as a pre-con. It was one of those the Challenger decks or whatever.
Okay.
And it was like Challenger deck plus like $40 gets you the fully real 75. Nice. And so I was like, "Oh yeah, that's cheap enough." I had some store credit sitting somewhere, and I was like, "Yeah, I can get into a format and have like a real deck. That sounds fun." And one of the local stores, one of the closest stores off the boat around here, does Pioneer F&Ms. So which I've made it to exactly one.
Oh, nice, nice.
I hope to go to more.
Yeah, that's about my record as well. Is I can get out to game nights about once a quarter. Yeah, it feels real good. House of Cards, Tybalt saying took the RCQ seasons ramping up to get it going. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that was the big tournament, the newest pro tour that was done in paper again, and everything was Pioneer, and so now everyone's super hype on it, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Now that there's like a reason to play a competitive Magic format, people are excited to play a competitive Magic format Big surprise there.
Giant surprise. No way we could have foreseen this.
Yeah, who would have seen it coming?
I honestly, and I know it's just like old dude shit, but when I opened the Wizards Twitch channel that day and saw Paper Magic being broadcasted the way that it was when I was like a kid watching that shit, like I definitely got a little goosebumps. I was like, this does fucking rule. I miss this so much. It's so much better to watch.
Was this the Pro Tour during Philly?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and you watched it. You sat there and you watched it, and you watched Cedric talk about that shit and Marshall and all them being like,
I was pretty good about getting distracted when actual games were not being played, but I watched most of the actual games, especially any of them that were Lotus Field games. I was making sure to watch real closely, and then all the other ones too. There's that fucking the deck that Reed Duke won with, the creativity deck, also super cool. Another combo deck that I had no idea about.
It does like a world spine loop, right? Like it does.
It's a world spine, and it's like a polymorph kind of situation where you're running like world spine worm and Perforos to give it haste. And then you're like fucking GG. It's so funny.
That's really funny. Yeah, double strike and haste and just go. Zena goes for 30. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's really silly. Yeah, conspicuous scoop. Yeah, once a quarter, I can get out and play games about once a quarter if I'm lucky. But no, I'm trying to. Those are rookie numbers. We're trying to raise those numbers. I'm trying to get out there and be a man of the people. So we're getting there.
It's hard to get out.
Yo, for sure, it's hard to get out. So I heard a story that the guy who came in second at the Pro Tour qualified for Pro Tour using Arena on his phone.
Nice. I do love the rags to riches story arc there.
Yep, I heard that, and that it was just some young ass kid, and he qualified only playing his phone. And the two things that I heard about that are so amazing is, one, it's incredible that the Arena client is strong enough to not cut out on your phone, like that you wouldn't cut out over and over again and lose your chances at qualifying because of bad connections. And the other one was that apparently if you're using like a phone, it's hard not to fat finger it. So that this kid was
the real skill here is just in handling that UI.
the dexterity to fucking touch all the, to not just be like, and turn.
Yeah.
Or like do the wrong attack or whatever. So this kid is clearly, I think when they say phone, I think he probably had a phone about this big.
Yeah, I hope
with a mouse and keyboard attached.
Yeah, for sure. It was like a tablet with that just had a phone plan on it.
So the pic of them next to Shota was like Godfather and the kid who got picked up off the street. Yes, he's got skinny fingers for sure. My dude definitely has little fucking stylus digits for sure.
Yeah.
He got little tiny
stylus. Whenever I'm like, I'll play a little game on Arena on my phone because I'm waiting for the kids or whatever. It's always a disaster. It's also usually Brawl, so there's like a million things going on. So maybe that's part of my problem, but still.
Oh man, so and that's like there's so many now. There's like all these different formats you can play on Arena and stuff, and like
and Explorer is like really close to Pioneer. It doesn't have the Lotus Field deck, but it has a lot of the other decks aren't missing very much. So
Explorer is that like the Arena equivalent?
Yeah, it's what it will go away one day when all of the Pioneer cards are on Arena. They're like backwards adding cards, and Explorer is just kind of the interim format that exists while they're adding cards, as opposed to
Historic,
which has like the alchemy cards, Arena only cards, stuff like that. I'm not a fan of that one personally, but
people play it though, right? People play it, and it's weird.
They must, because they have a whole separate R&D team for designing these Arena-only cards. It's an expensive endeavor for WotC to be doing, so I imagine people must be playing it.
I was under the impression that those were for as like a Hearthstone like a way to compete
That's
with Hearthstone, because the
that's kind of
cards do
yeah.
like functionally similar things, like the perpetually and all those weird
Mhm.
weird
Yeah, you can
mechanics.
mark up cards and you can like tutor random cards,
Yeah,
like random cards of a type, so
yeah,
it's not fully random, which reminded me a lot of when I played Hearthstone for a little bit before getting back into Magic. And what I could not stand about Hearthstone was learning like losing games to RNG in a way that isn't just like bad top decking, but just like, oh, I drew, not only do I need to draw this certain card, but it then needs to randomly hit this other right card. And with
yeah.
like, once it's like 2 layers of RNG, it's too much for me. But
But with Hearthstone, they've taken out the randomness of getting mana screwed, right? So like you get your
correct,
like
yeah.
you can do stuff on curve and stuff. So you're not like, oh, I didn't get enough mana, but it's like, oh, I didn't get the right cards in my hand, or random shit from the random ass cards that I need to play. So
Yeah. Nah, I have, you know, obviously been playing Magic for a million years at this point, but I've come to really like appreciate mana screw, which is a funny thing to say. Like obviously when it's happening, I don't enjoy that it's happening. Especially in Commander, it kind of feels worse, I feel like, than in other formats, but there's so much that goes into like calculating a good opening hand and playing around when you don't hit that land drop and not
yep,
just like being like, oh, I'm out of the game, but still like making plays that will work. And especially over longer games between like mid-range decks, the land drops and if you're hitting them or not shape the game in all these different ways. And I think it is actually a lot more interesting than people give it credit for when they're just like, well, Magic is bad because you can lose to mana screw. Like,
yeah.
okay.
But you know, you can
Every game
actually.
that's fixed that problem sucks in other ways. Just
It's true.
you gotta choose something.
Um. So yeah, and that's another part of why I'm so interested in getting into Arena, is because it's got like there's new formats to learn, there's new ways to learn to play. So like I am interested in playing sealed, playing limited, playing all these different, like I'd love to just draft over and over again. I say that now, but I'd probably hate it when I actually do it. But I want to at least try it, you know.
When I've
And
played like draft environments that I really like it. So
the one time me and you did the early access and we drafted together, that was a fucking riot. So I also
yeah.
like the idea of doing it with either riding shotgun with somebody else or having somebody ride shotgun with me to then talk about it and talk about the plays and talk about the picks and all that stuff, because that's definitely a lot of fun. Sorry, I got the
Totally.
yawns. It's way
That's
past
funny.
bedtime for me right now. So
Yeah, it's like we also started early, so we can
I'm
go
gonna
another
chop
little
it up for a
bit
little
and
while. So here we are on our weekly Commander wrap up, talking about Arena. But ideally,
yeah.
also like I think the format of how we do mental misplay stuff is going to shift as well as I begin to like. But I say begin, but as I dive deeper and deeper into being like fully enfranchised with Magic everything, like I'm going to have to embrace other parts of what Magic is in order to learn, like, and like, and also with like my trajectory of like going to shows and interviewing people. Like I was thinking like, oh, it'd be so cool to like to collaborate with Anurag.
Mhm.
It'd be so cool to collaborate with him and like go and be like, oh, I'm here with blah, blah, blah. Like, but he covers not Commander, that's for fucking sure, you know.
Mhm.
So I'd have to learn like who the players are, what the decks are, what the, you know, how the format works, what how actual tournaments work and stuff. So I'm super interested in learning to do that and in learning about other formats. And I think in order the best way to do it would be to play them to start, you know.
Yep.
And
Dive on in.
yep, start learning what the metas are, learning what the different decks are, all that sort of stuff. So
It all relates to. It's something I really like about Magic in general is that like there's no way you can play even the goofy variants like stuff like Dan and the basic land game I've seen people talking about a bunch lately. Like no matter how you're playing Magic, you're learning about the game in general, and it will improve your skills across all formats, and
Yep.
you'll learn new tricks, new little intricacies, all sorts of stuff.
What's the basic land game?
I just read the rules to it. I can't tell you exactly, but it's like your deck just has basic lands in it, like 5 of each or something, but each basic land like does something when you play it. I don't remember what the skills that are tied to each of them are, but they do things, and you can only play one of them per turn.
Oh, interesting. That's
And
wild.
somehow they deal damage, I'm sure, and you have to figure that out and get damage done. I don't know. It's been it's the new Dan.
I know that Sam and the Salty Boys, Sam and the Howling Salt Mine guys were trying to build a pile pile. Like it's like a 60 card curated pile that 2 people split and play Pygal matches with.
Interesting.
And I thought that was really funny. So it's all
Yeah.
about like attacking and combat tricks, and how to use 3 cards to leverage that the best, and like how to. So I thought that was really funny that they're building this like pile gow or whatever the fuck they called it. I'd say a solid 2/3 of my trip back to New York, or my trip back to Rhode Island with them, was those guys going deep trying to figure out like it was like a couple cards of each, like 2 cards of each color, and then like 1 of each color combination in like creature, all that sort of creature, spell, all that stuff. So like they went so deep on it, and I was just like, let me just fucking zone out right now. Man, Philly was a fucking riot though. That was so good. So what else? So we talked a little bit about events. I think I'm at like 99% gonna head out to Minneapolis apparently, which is like fucking wild to even think about.
When is that one?
That is first weekend in May. So
okay.
it's like it's coming up, and then like another 6 months, and we got Commander Sealed again.
Yep.
Which is crazy to think about. So that's going to be a whole thing. And Gunnar, I talked with Gunnar about like trying to work in the booth with him, so that's going to be interesting.
Nice.
I of course want to play it, but I definitely was like, yeah, I'll work the booth. So we got a lot of details to work out with that one. But I may be helping do Commander Sealed, so that'll be fun.
Nice.
Sealed. Scoopface knows the fucking story. That's gonna be a riot. That was a blast last time too. They did a really good event. Looking forward to being able to play that in a non-sweaty environment.
Yeah, the Sealed Commander seems like such a good time. I will see if we can get some like pre-con pods going at Seattle, perhaps. But
Yep.
nothing will touch the Commander Sealed experience those guys have curated over there.
I mean, you could probably do like everybody get a box or something and make a deck out of it or some shit like that also, which is pretty cool. I know that people were doing that at Sandkeeper. It was fucking amazing, truly. I know at Oktoberfest, right? People were cracking boxes or whatever and just building something out of it and jamming it into each other. So that was really cool to see all the creators sitting there doing that.
It would be a good excuse to buy a box, because I otherwise probably won't ever buy one again.
Nice. That's pretty good.
It's disappointing whenever I do.
Oh man, speaking of buying product, I can't believe I went to Newberry Comics of all places, and they had the $10 $10 Infinity Collector boosters. I got a pile of them. I was like, all right, yeah, fine, $10 a piece. Let's just get them. So
you get any of those sweet shocks in there?
I got one, yep, and it's got your name on it if you want it. I got a I didn't get any Galaxy Shocks, unfortunately. I was sad. I was definitely cried a little. But I got a Blood Crypt.
Oh hell yeah.
Yep, foil Blood Crypt. And one of the packs, nice. I had just this morning on TCG ordered a Galaxy Foil Saw in Half. And one of the packs had a regular foil Saw in Half and a Galaxy Foil Saw in Half in the same pack. So I was
Wow.
like, cancel my order, please. So I canceled that shit right up. And they were like, we will cancel your order. Yes, please.
Mhm.
Thank you for even. So, oh, nice Capana collector boosters. Nice. Yeah, Newberry Comics had weird shit for sure. They better reprint Mana Crypt as a common in this set for $400. Yeah, that's what I'm fucking talking about. Yo, fucking Sam. This is like we're talking about Sam all the time. Sam cracked. Somebody was like, "Here, Sam. Here's a mystery booster for your birthday," and there was a fucking Mana Crypt in it.
Wow.
The whole table went absolutely apeshit. They
Those
had
have really gone up. The freaking Mana Crypts.
those
lately.
shits are like $200 now. All of them. It's
Yeah, I
fucking
couldn't believe my
super
Crypto Day
crazy.
Mana is $250. I paid like $80 for that
Yep.
thing.
I traded for my book promo one for like 100. And I think I traded for I got the foil, like the one with the square with the shit coming out of it from whatever set
Yeah.
that was. I got that from Curtis. I traded that for Curtis for about $200 worth of trade.
Nice.
And so, no, I didn't mail in for it. I'm not that cool.
I know. I wish.
I'm not that cool for sure. But Newberry Comics had a ton of collector boosters. All the way back, they had a couple of Theros. Whatever the tagline was, but with the green wrappers, they had a couple of Theros collector boosters. They had a Double Masters, Double Masters 2 collector booster for like $80.
Yeah.
And they even had up on the shelf, they had the fucking complete bundles. They had complete bundles for $120. And I was like, they can stay right on that fucking shelf. But they had Theros Beyond Death collector boosters, and I really thought about getting one. And I was like, no, thank you. But if they had Eldraine, I would have gotten every single one of them.
Yeah, Eldraine's got some good shit.
They had those.
And you would have opened another Great Hinge, so you know it's always going to be money.
Yeah, Shadow Spear for sure. Fucking
Yeah.
something. There's so much bangers in that set. So I would have been like, yes, please, I'll take every one of them. But that I think was like severely underprinted as well because nobody knew. Nobody knew it was going to be the big Mamma Jamma.
Yeah, totally.
So, and I mean, this is the thing that I keep seeing everybody all excited about is just like all these fancy versions that it costs big dollars. They're driving down the prices of all the other ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's I'll take it for sure as someone who, especially for 60 card formats, I really am fine with the cheapest versions of everything. I got, although I say that, and I just got in the mail today this sweet Baral.
Oh wow,
like,
that's wild! I never seen that. That's super funny.
Yeah, it's some secret layer, and it wasn't that much more than the normal guy. So I got this one because he's a kind of a flex spot in Lotus Field.
Oh, nice.
I was like, yeah, it's cool. It's like $6 or something. I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Mab called me out. I do pimp out my pauper decks a little bit. Only a couple of them though. Only Affinity and Goblin combo. There's a lot of overlap there, so they're kind of dual pimped out.
Oh, nice. So you said there is a lot of overlap?
There's a lot of overlap, yeah.
Okay.
The artifact lands and deadly disputes can go in both decks, so you know, it's okay.
I'm gonna have to do it if I build. I was thinking like, oh, if I'm gonna become like some fucking 60 card player, what's the modern deck I'm gonna build or whatever, but. Is Tron? Do they still do Tron in Modern? Do they do it?
I think you can still do Tron in Modern. I don't know. Modern, I'm like, I've watched a lot of Modern content trying to like kind of do the same thing, but I'm just there's too many cards that I hate playing around in Modern because there's a million free spells and you know like all the endurance and that whole cycle and then the forces cycle and just there's so many of these free spells that it's like. You can play right and just get gotcha'd because there's so many free spells.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot about Pioneers, that there's no supplemental sets allowed in Pioneer. It's only mainline standard sets.
That's cool.
There's none of the Modern Horizons, which like Modern Horizons made Modern more expensive somehow. Like if you look at deck prices before and after, it's like they're like twice as expensive now.
That's wild.
I was looking at building this Gruul Breach deck for Modern, but then I stopped seeing it 5-0 MTGO leagues at all. I'm like, maybe that deck isn't actually good, and it was just like really good for a weekend.
Uh-huh.
And that's the kind of deck I go all in on, and then it's horrible, and I can't play it anywhere, and it's really
Yep.
bad. So
I was playing. I was so that's how I did for Arena when I first got back into Arena. I booted it up because I wanted to play Ikoria, and Ikoria had gotten delayed, and I was like, I need to play this set, so I booted up Arena, and I built Luris Cat Oven immediately, and that shit got mega fucking banned.
But now you can play Cat Oven in Mini Pioneer. What was it called? Explorer.
Yep.
Rakdos Sacrifice is a deck. I was playing it for a while. It's
Nice.
a fun one.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I liked it was, I don't know if it was a standard deck or what the fuck it was, but when the last time I booted it up, I built the I think it was the Infect deck with the green guy who gives all your Death Touch creatures Infect, I think.
Oh yeah.
So, but that's probably
his
a
name starts
whole
with like a C or something. I don't
yeah,
know.
it's some green legendary who gives all your Death Touch creatures Infect, and I was like, Finn the Fangbearer.
Yeah, Finn. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Finn. But I don't. Is Finn still a thing? No, probably not, because
Not that I've
fucking
ever.
now that now that All Will Be One is out, like everything's got
Yeah.
a fucking infect,
Yeah,
right?
you don't need Infect at home anymore.
Yeah, everybody's just everything has fucking infect now. So,
I have no idea what's going on in Standard though.
no,
I haven't
nobody
played
does.
Standard in
Nobody understands.
forever.
So, and that was the joke I was gonna make. That like, oh, cool. Now that like all the cards are affordable, right on time for no one to ever play Standard again. I was at PAX Unplugged. One person showed up for the Standard event.
Wow.
One single person showed up to play Standard.
That's pretty wild. It's got to be a combination of format can't be that interesting if that's what's going on, and
Yep.
like, and having and really pushing it as like an arena format.
Yeah.
You know, I think the majority of Standard players must be playing that on arena.
Yeah.
Just because that just like makes sense to me. I don't know. Poor Standard.
Standard. So Triplin says Standard is either like any of one color mid range. Is it one color? Basically color mid range or cheat out Atraxa apparently.
I believe that new Atraxa is obnoxious.
People seem to like it. It's hard not to like a 7/7 flying vigilance death touch lifelink.
Does all the keywords, draws you a butt ton of cards.
I hate fucking regular ass Atraxa. I can't imagine what a 7/7 version would do. Joked at the shop that you would probably get more people playing Paper Historic than Standard. That is probably fucking true. I would not bet against that for sure. So yeah, otherwise, you know, it's been the Magic stuff's been good. I built these two Boros decks that do exactly the same thing. Just about they're funny. They've had some really fun interactions with Prowl. Stoic Strategist. There's been some really weird interactions with that. But otherwise, I've been just all in on Itali.
Nice. Itali's a good one. I haven't gotten to play a whole bunch lately, but I've been working on my casual decks quite a bit.
Yeah.
Helped a guy work on a mono white like one-sided Wrath deck.
Okay.
That was fun to work on with like kind of an Angels theme, like give your stuff indestructible and then Wrath kind of theme deck. That was fun. Been working on Rune a bunch. Rune's seeming pretty good. Yeah, I'm big reason I'm super stoked on Command Fest. I will actually bring casual decks this time, not just one. And get to run all my different stupid crap. I'm gonna rebuild Sidisi, I think, just for zombie theme.
And if you play those decks, you gotta do like it's important to get in a couple games. This is how I think is it's important to get in games with like our friends on the internet, all of the people we normally love to see and play and interact with in person is a real treat. But for me, the most important thing is get in the pickup games with randos, get in games with people who are just there to hang out. Lady Foxlove 13 followed this minute. Let me know in the comments if you're still here. Type a hello in chat. We love a first time chatter. And how did you find us? What choices in your life have brought you to a mental misplay talking stream at 1 a.m? But yeah, you got to make sure, like, either sign up for the on-demand events, or just sit down. Like when somebody's just like, "Oh, hey, I'd love to get a game in with you," to be like, "Yes," and get 2 other just random players in there, because that. Like I made jokes about, like, I'm gonna go get games in person and be a man of the people, but it's like so fucking clutch to actually do that, because you just get a different experience, like the
Totally.
online meta, the creator meta is so much wildly different than like getting to play with people in real life and kind of feeling what they're, yeah, just it. I can't put it into words. I haven't fully articulated it yet, but it's a different feeling.
I know that's a big part of why I want to do the 10 games a day challenge, or try to challenge myself to that, because it means that I will not have time to like sit around and wait for people I know to be firing games. I will have to be out there getting games,
Yeah.
making it happen, finding people to play with. And I definitely, like, every time I go to these things, I end up not using my event ticket things. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to do that and actually see how they fire up, and not
Yep.
just. I mean, I met a cool dude sitting at a table for like 30 minutes waiting for a cEDH pod to fire, but I think I'll just do some casual ones, have a good old time.
Or do the events, do a fucking Baldur's Gate draft.
Yeah,
That shit's
totally.
awesome. You get paired up with randos, or you do the like I said, the boss monster. So fucking cool. Or just,
Yeah,
exactly
totally.
like you said, just random, just jump in there and do your yeah, like when it's like looking for a game of 3 casual, just jump right in there.
Yep,
That shit is so good,
totally.
and you see decks you never see before. Like I went out to the LGS and this dude was playing that fucking Skybridge deck where the only creature was that Is It one from All Will Be One that shits out hasty creatures for spells. It was so crazy. I'd never
Mhm.
seen anything like it. It was so cool to see. So like you see,
Especially because I'm not that kind of brewer, so I definitely enjoy seeing that kind of thing in the wild,
Mhm.
because it's just so outside the box for me. I'm such a like keyword, every card with that keyword
Yep.
kind of deck builder. So and I've just decided to embrace that. I'm no longer not embracing that. We're just going for it full on. And yeah, it's a good time. I'm really excited to get a bunch of games in, see a bunch of different cards,
Yep.
do a bunch of different stuff.
I live for it. Like it's so tough because I'm always so torn at all those events, and I'm like, I want to run my cube and do my video thing and all that, rather than just be like, I want to sit down and jam games for 11 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I got to do on my birthday. Lady Foxglove 13, up late pumping and was looking for a streamer to catch. Well, I really appreciate you, putting us on as some like background or maybe foreground or whatever. So thank you so much. This isn't our normal what we do. We're doing our like weekly roundup, like talking thing right now. So it's a bunch of us just kind of talking in circles about gobbledygook. But I really appreciate you that you follow the channel and that you jumped in here and gave us a follow, and that you for some reason haven't unfollowed me on Twitter. It's very kind. So thank you so much for supporting us, giving us a little bit of love. Doing things with people at events is very hard to manage. That's correct, Sandkeeper. So like I'm lucky that I managed to get the cube to fire 3 times while I was at Philly, but it was like literally just like me like forcing it to happen, but the great thing is every time I've done it, people are like, I loved it. It was the most fun thing cube I've ever played. So it's like, okay, good. That's all I want to hear. It's great.
Totally. Yeah, no, the plan right now is to go hard Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday I'll probably just post up at a table and let people come to me, hopefully, because I will have checked out of the hotel and have all of my shit on me.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
So I will have to kind of camp out a corner. But
They're like, I'm not moving because I have a suitcase.
yeah.
Happy to be here. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh no, cut an ad. Oh no. Yeah. So
Our ads have been going crazy lately, apparently.
I fucked around with the ad settings and I have to unfuck them because like I wanted to take off the ads that show up right when you log in, you know, like when you like, oh, I'm gonna go watch Mental Misplay and it throws an ad right in your fucking face before you can even watch us. I took that off because I thought that was a deterrent, you know. And I still think it is, but I may just like take the amount of ads that it splits in there and just do like 1 or 2 per hour maybe or something like that.
Yeah, I've heard you can kind of hack it if you manually play the ads once an hour. It won't autoplay them, so you can kind of at least choose the timing. But of course, that's a whole other thing to manage while you're just trying to manage all the other things you have to manage while you're streaming.
So yeah, I got to go in there and unfuck that. So we've been at it for about an hour now. I think that's about the perfect time to call it. What is the cool? Wow, Squidgy Boy though coming through with a I can't think of the words. Like at the 11th hour, coming through with a killer question, a killer prompt. What is the coolest card I own?
I think mine's probably the double feature Tox Roll because you gave it to me, first of all, which means it has sentimental value. And it's just like it's the perfect card for that treatment because it's a horrible looking, nasty monster in the black and white. And it's just great. It's just got it all.
I love the hollow hand, the Avabrook Caretaker and the Hollow Hedge fucking spook monster, whatever the other flip is it. No, it's unfortunately the silver screen foils look like absolute dog dick on screen. They're just like they're impossible to show how cool they are unless you see them in real life, which honestly I think is kind of cool also.
There's an element of cool to that.
When you see them in real life, you're like, oh, that's super cool. And when you see it on any other thing, you're like, I wish I knew how cool that actually looked.
Mine's buried in deck boxes over there in this problem behind me over here.
I think the coolest card I own, I don't know, honestly. There's some cool ones. I think that there's I feel like there's some that are like I'll think of something later, but honestly right now I'm like so geeked up on this Starscream, and Knowledge showed up for my birthday and gave me a fucking another one.
Oh my goodness.
So I've got 2 of these fucking things right now, and he said he got it and then tuned into the stream and like 40 minutes after he got the fucking thing, I was like, look what Anton got me. And he was like, God damn it. But he was like, you know what? I'm going to give it to him anyway. Cause apparently he got it for a super, super good deal. He was telling me. So he was like, you know what? We can, he said, you can sell it or you can put it in the cube or do whatever. So I think one of them's going to go into, one of them goes in the cube and one of them goes into,
yeah, it's a good cube card for sure.
Into the other thing, the, Gix. And you know, if I take apart Gix someday and I need to if I need to buy a box of Commander Masters for $400, we're most of the way there. So, but he was very kind to give me.
He's the nicest dude.
Knowledge goes so far above and beyond. This guy showed up with drove up from Jersey, showed up with a bag of bagels that I'm still working on, gave me a kingly present, and brought Ron too. Just like such an absolute sweetheart. And apparently they got an Airbnb like near the place, and they said that the Airbnb host like sent them a weird message, and they were like, nope, driving back to Jersey. Like they were just like, fuck that, we're not staying there. Which good on them for being safe and doing things correctly. So
that's funny. I'm gonna have to ask him about that. I've been edited videos for him too, if you want to see some cool interviews. MTG Community Spotlights, good stuff.
He does a good job. So yeah, I think like that, or I don't know. There's so many good ones, honestly, and I'm partial to some of the shit that I've had for 25 years. You know, like
totally.
the Gaia's Cradle that I have has like creases at the top because I used to play it in fucking Type 2 Stompy.
Nice.
There's a couple of like, the coolest card, like coolest, like the coolest looking, the coolest fucking, like when you see it, you're like, that's fucking cool. I have a foil 8th edition Grave Pact with the fucking spooky death pointing at the
Nice.
grave, the super fucking Van Art metal one. That might be the like actual like coolest card I own because it's fully like Van Art.
Yeah.
Oh shit, conspicuous scoop. We'll see when it gets here, but it's soon to be my custom Mox Poison that's on the way.
Nice.
That shit is gonna be. It's gonna be so fucking crazy. So that'll go straight in the cube for sure. But yeah, Walmart Grim Reaper T-shirt Grave Pact is definitely a cool one, and soon I'll have a custom Mox Poison, and I'm dying for that shit. I messaged Justine, and she's like, "Yeah, I got a fucking giant list of art to make, so you'll get it eventually." I was like, "Okay, perfect.
Nice.
Cool, won't ask again."